for International Development, which is the USAID, in support of the safe reopening of schools, focusing on the key prevention of COVID-19 infections such as Caloocan. This is a vaccination and vida behavioral cure.
For the best friend natin ang mask, that's what big means, and ingatan at higasan ng kamay, dinistansya muna, air-floated environment where they can develop holistically. This will only possible if we continue to teach not just the learners, but the whole community to be champions of COVID-19 vaccination and observance of the minimum health protocol. That's our vida kids, sir. Thank you.
Friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Dr. Dexter Galban, Assistant Secretary for Youth Affairs and Special Concerns at the Department of Education. Today is an exciting day for all of us on this healthy and safe back-to-school event. We are honored to have with us Caloocan City Mayor Dale Gonzalo Along Malapitan, Department of Health OIC Secretary Rosario Vergere, the Second Gentleman of the United States, Doug Emhoff, Deputy Chief of Mission of the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines, Ms. Heather Pariaga, USAID Mission Director Ryan Washburn, Acting Country Director of the Peace Corps in the Philippines, Dr. Lynn Chivers, all of whom are coming for today's program dubbed as Strengthening the United States and Philippines' Health Alliance for Safe Return of Learners to Face-to-Face Classes in Schools. Also present today are our committed and passionate partners from the Department of Education, Department of Health, and the local government of Caloocan. Caloocan City is a dynamic and proactive local government unit supporting programs implemented by the Department of Health and the Department of Education. For COVID-19, USAID, through its Reach Health project, collaborates with Caloocan Health Department to provide human resource augmentation through mobile vaccination teams, transportation support for vaccination, provision of COVID-19 testing commodities, and support to the Department of Education's back to school, and children vaccination campaigns. The DepEd Schools Division Office of Caloocan, on the other hand, has been working hand in hand with the USAID's TB Platforms project in the institutionalization of Tibay ng Dibdib Storybook, a true-to-life story about two young sisters who survived tuberculosis. This storybook is now part of the science and health subject of public elementary schools here during online, modular, and now face-to-face learning sessions. Along with this health education material is the implementation of the TB self-assessment forms, which help the local office find, detect, and cure patients with TB in the school setting. To formally start our program and to welcome all of us here today, let's call on Caloocan City Mayor, the Honorable Dale Gonzalo Along Malapitan.
Second Gentleman of the United States, Mr. Douglas Emhoff. U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines, Ambassador Mary Kay Loss Carlson. USA Mission Director, Ryan Washburn. USAID Philippines Office of Health Director, Ms. Michelle Lang Ali. USAID Philippines Office of the Health Deputy Director, Dr. Yolanda Oliveros. USAID Philippines Office of Health Infectious Disease Specialist, Dr. Ernesto Bontuyan. USAID Philippines Office of Health Project Management Specialist, Mr. Jeff Carl Estioco. Acting County Director, Peace Corps Philippines, Dr. Lynn Chivers. Department of Health Officer in Charge, Secretary of Health, Dr. Maria Rosario Vergere. To the officials from DOH and the Department of Education, my fellow civil servants, to the teachers and students, good morning. First, I would like to welcome all of you to the historical city of Caloocan. We are a humble city with great aspirations. Our vision as local government is highly focused on the welfare of the youth. And with the full implementation of face-to-face classes, we are doing our best to assure that children are safe in their pursuit of learning. When COVID-19 hit the Philippines, our city government acted swiftly to mitigate the problem and create a healthcare system that would minimize the pandemic impact to our city. However, I have to humbly admit that addressing the pandemic has been a huge challenge for us, like the rest of the world. The education sector transitioned to blended learning to assure that our children will continue their education amid the crisis. It has been a difficult path. Several challenges. Nonetheless, our children and our teachers persevered. With all the classes transitioning to in-person, there will be new challenges to overcome. And I hope you will all face it with eagerness. As the local executive, I assure you, the Caloocan Local School Board and the City Health Department is focused on giving the best possible health care to our children. I would also like to reiterate the local government's commitment in ensuring a safe and healthy resumption of classes. I am deeply grateful to our national and international partners, agencies for their unwavering support to our endeavors. Our children are our nation's future. The children that we are protecting right now are the future leaders and innovators of this world. And our top priority as a city government is to provide them with more opportunities to succeed in life. We want our current educational system to be stable for both students and educators. Our commitment is this. We will align ourselves to USAID's goal of ensuring a safe and healthy learning environment for our children. We want our children to have a healthy relationship and long-lasting companions along the way. Let this day be a testament for the things we shall accomplish together. Thank you again, and I welcome you to the historical city of Caloocan. Mabuhay po kayo.
Thank you very much for your wonderful message, Honorable Mayor Malapitan. Indeed, as local chief executive of one of the largest cities in the National Capital Region, it is important for us to highlight the role of local government in ensuring the safe return to classes of our learners. At this point, may we call on Deputy Chief of Mission Heather Variava, Deputy Chief of Mission of the United States Embassy of Manila, to introduce our very special guest for this morning.
Magandang umaga, good morning. It is such an honor to have the United States Second Gentleman, Mr. Douglas Emhoff, visit Philippines for the second time. The Second Gentleman was born in New York. He grew up in New Jersey and California, and he earned a bachelor's degree from the California State University of Northridge and a Juris Doctor from the University of Southern California Gould School of Law. Having practiced law for 30 years, Mr. Emhoff is a distinguished lawyer who cares deeply about justice and equality in the United States legal system. And as part of the Biden-Harris administration, during his first year as Second Gentleman, Mr. Emhoff has traveled to dozens of states and 2 countries, including the Philippines. As the first Second Gentleman, married to the first woman vice president in the United States, Mr. Emhoff knows the power and importance of having women in leadership positions. He is proud of the Biden and Harris administration's commitments to advancing gender equity and will continue to speak about the importance of being a supportive spouse. The Second Gentleman has made it a top priority to encourage people to protect themselves and their communities by getting vaccinated against COVID-19. He has visited vaccine clinics in churches, community health centers, schools, stadiums, and even barbershops across the United States to raise awareness about the importance of getting vaccinated. So it is very fitting to welcome him here today to talk about vaccination, getting kids back in school, and I am so honored to introduce and welcome the Second Gentleman of the United States, Mr. Douglas Emhoff.
Good morning. It's so great to be here today and back in the Philippines so soon. It was such an honor to be here for the inauguration, and it's such an honor to be back here with my wife, the Vice President of the United States. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for those kind words and all the work that you've done. And Heather, it's so great to see you again. She's such an amazing representative of the United States and the world, and so great to call you a friend. Like I said, this is my second time already here in the Philippines, and just such a great place to be, such a warm welcome. Hello, students up there. Thank you for waving your flags. means a lot. I can't wait to tell the Vice President about this. I want to recognize the USAID, Embassy, and Peace Corps teams for all that they do. Thank you so much. They have led the United States government efforts to support the Philippine government's pandemic prevention, response, recovery, and COVID-19 efforts, and all the while strengthening the health system here, which is so important. There we go. The United States has been a proud partner with our friends here in the Philippines on promoting access to quality education, particularly with USAID and our Peace Corps volunteers. The United States, in partnership with Philippines, is continuing to invest in the next generation by improving early grade reading, math skills, strengthening education governance at the community level, and providing capacity building trainings to teachers and more. But I know the last couple of years have been very hard. They've been very hard for schools, they've been very hard for teachers and children and communities. I know schools have been virtual for over 2 years as the Philippines has fought so hard against this pandemic. But it's so good to see children back here in schools and in the classroom. I love it. Just like in the United States, here in Philippines, the pandemic has had a lasting impact on all aspects of our day-to-day lives, from attending schools, to running your businesses, to visiting your family and loved ones. But today, I'm here to make two important announcements. First, I'm proud to announce that the United States will be sharing hygiene kits and other COVID-19 supplies that will further boost your efforts in the Philippines against this disease. I hope these kits will provide relief to communities and families who really need it the most. Second, I'm also proud to announce today an additional $5 million is being provided through the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, to accelerate vaccine rollout. That is huge. This assistance, funded through the American Rescue Plan, will support vaccine distribution for children and adults in line with the Philippine government COVID-19 vaccination efforts to intensify and strengthen this country's wall of immunity. With this new contribution, the United States government has now committed over $51 million, more than 3.1 billion pesos, to the Philippines' COVID-19 response since the outbreak began. We've also donated over 33 million safe and effective COVID-19 vaccinations. Over the past 10 years, USAID has provided about $130 million, or more than 7.5 billion pesos, to support the Philippine government's efforts to eliminate tuberculosis. And through our combined efforts, the Philippines has made progress in fighting COVID-19 while ensuring continuity of other important health services like tuberculosis testing and treatment. As a friend and as an ally, the United States is so proud to support the Philippines in its fight against COVID-19 and tuberculosis. Our joint work on this front is among the most important highlights of our long-standing and vibrant collaboration. I'm looking forward to continuing the partnership between our countries in this fight against COVID-19 and tuberculosis, and working together to keep our communities safe and healthy and our schools open. The United States, through USAID, remains your strong partner in doing this in line with our shared goal of a healthier and more prosperous Philippines. thank you so much for having me today. It's such an honor. Together, we can stop the spread of COVID-19 and tuberculosis and keep these beautiful children here in school. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Emhoff, for outlining the continued commitment of the United States government for the COVID-19 response here in the Philippines. We are honored to have you today and learn how we will be working closely together in facing the various challenges in the health sector. Indeed, the support of the United States in bringing together these local efforts to strengthen COVID-19 response and tuberculosis is making huge differences for local communities and in ensuring the safety of our learners who are back to face-to-face classes in schools. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to hear from our Department of Health, let's now call on Officer in Charge, Secretary Dr. Maria Rosario Singh Vergere for her message.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. Of course, good morning to our Second Gentleman of the United States, Mr. Douglas Emhoff. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the Philippines. Ms. Heather Variava, Deputy Chief of Mission, U.S. Embassy. Mr. Ryan Washburn, USAID Mission Director. To our Country Director from our U.S. Peace Corps, good morning, ma'am. And of course, to our City Mayor of Caloocan, we have Mayor Malapitan. Thank you very much, sir, for having us here, and congratulations for your excellent implementation of the COVID-19 response and the other health programs that we are implementing. To ASEC Galban from the Department of Education, of course, our DOH family, headed by Director Gloria Balboa. We have our USAID family with Ms. Michelle Lang-Ali. To all of our school heads, teachers, to all of the students here, a pleasant good morning to all of you. As the world embraces the new normal, the Department of Health continues to work tirelessly to ensure that every Filipino are equipped with accurate health information, the access to preventive healthcare services and treatment, and free COVID-19 testing and vaccination. We thank the United States government for helping the Philippines respond to this COVID-19 crisis and protecting the Filipinos with the much-needed vaccines and technical assistance. Your assistance helped save the lives of many of us Filipinos. And to name a few, through the Protect Health Project, the USAID supports the government of the Philippines by strengthening its health financing system to meet key TB, HIV, and family planning outcomes. The USAID's Medicine, Technology, and Pharmaceutical System Project supports the government agencies in the management and operations of our health supply chain management systems. And in 2021, USAID and the Department of Health launched the Lusog Isip app. This is the country's first mobile application for mental health and self-care, which was developed in response to the growing need for mental health care, especially during this time of the pandemic. In addition, the USAID likewise continues to support the country's COVID-19 vaccination. To date, the Department of Health has administered already 168 million plus doses of COVID-19 vaccines, covering primary series and booster doses. Crucial to these vaccine accomplishments were the vaccine demand generation activities, which was supported also by USAID. Specifically, we have the BIDA Plus and the Res Vacuna campaigns, which were created and implemented successfully through the support of the USAID. We cherish this long-standing health partnership, and we hope that this level of commitment be sustained beyond the COVID-19 pandemic. Furthermore, the support provided by the U.S. government in combating tuberculosis has been pivotal. specifically the introduction of the new tools to improve the TB care, support to TB regimens and preventive therapy and private sector engagement, and health system strengthening that help improve TB implementation in the country. It has supported more than 300,000 Filipinos initiated on TB treatment for this year alone. More than ever, the pandemic has also emphasized the importance of having universal health care for all. As we aspire for universal health care for our Filipino people, the Department of Health is grateful for USAID for providing assistance for preparing us for our rollout of this universal health care. The DOH, the USAID, and other development partners are working to establish the management, technical, and fiscal mechanisms for us to be able to implement universal health care in our country. I am very much hopeful that the work that we have started would be enhanced to enhance our healthcare system capacities, will build resilient communities, and we can expand to transform our COVID-19 wins into universal healthcare wins. With this, we move towards the adoption of a settings-based approach in our implementation of universal healthcare, an approach that ensures that the different environments are supportive of practicing healthy behaviors. Since 2021, we have initiated the work on building healthy communities, healthy learning institutions, and healthy workplaces in order for us to address the broader socio-economic determinants of health and the well-being of all Filipinos. We will continue to roll out our healthy learning institutions framework to support more and more schools in the coming years. With this, we enjoin all of you to share in the responsibility of caring for our children who are our future. Our experience in navigating the COVID-19 pandemic has demonstrated that if a whole of society moves, we can achieve greater things, like vaccinating our people at such an unprecedented scale and speed. And this whole of society is likewise needed to transform our schools and communities where we live to one that enables our fellow Filipinos to make the healthy choice the easier choice. In closing, let me impress upon the fact that our future lies in the brilliance of today's children, which is why it is important that the same whole of society approach is maximized to transform our schools and communities into settings that makes healthy choices the easy choice for every Filipino child. We hope that you will never tire in supporting us in creating this healthy future with us for all of our children. Thank you very much to all of you, and may we all successfully work together to guide everyone for us to achieve a healthier Philippines. Magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Thank you very much for that inspiring message. Again, that was DOH OIC Secretary Vergere. Indeed, the Department of Health has served in partnership with the United States government through USAID as the shield that our country had during the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as our ongoing fight against tuberculosis. This time, we would like to do a ceremonial handover of COVID-19 supplies from the Second Gentleman to Mayor Dale Gonzalo Malapitan, to be witnessed by the Department of Health, U.S. Embassy officials, and our local health office team. May we also request our special guest, the Second Gentleman of the United States, Douglas Emhoff, to join the group photo. Again, thank you everyone. May we now proceed to the handover of the Tibay ng Dibdib storybooks to our grade 3 pupils. Joining us in this special meet and greet sessions are the two young sisters, both TB survivors and their parents, who are featured in the storybook we are sharing with you today. Once again, that is the end of our program. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we hope that you can join us for this handover ceremony for our TB campaign. Once again, I'm Dr. Dexter Galvan, Assistant Secretary for Youth Affairs and Special Concerns, Department of Education. Thank you very much, and may you all have a wonderful day.